Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of Dragon Warrior 4 for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Last episode, Cosmo's companions captured the real thief who stole the bronze armlet from the prophetess in Konenber, and because of that, the queen allowed Alina, who she was holding captive, to go free. To get her free, she said, hey, I just unlock her jail cell door with this, the final key. So, yeah, now we have the final key, so we can put the thief's key and the magic key in the vault here to clear up some inventory space. And we're going to need that inventory space because we're going to be going, unlocking a whole bunch of doors and getting some treasure that we saw earlier but couldn't get because it was behind jail cell doors. So, speaking of jail, I didn't show off this dialogue, but if the queen says, you know, when the queen asks you, like, did you steal it? If you say yes, you lie and say, yeah, I stole it. She basically says, don't try to get away with a lighter sentence simply by confessing. You're on trial, you must tell the truth. And I ask you again, did you steal the bronze omelet? So, or amulet. Omelet? I guess I'm hungry. Well, speaking of hungry, I'm hungry for some new armor. Well, Talon is. We're gonna sell Alina's old iron claw, sell Talon's iron apron, and that'll give us more than enough money to grab the metal battle armor for Talon. Talon's getting decked out with some good gear here. He's also going to get the Sword of Lethargy from Cosmo. Now, he can equip the Sword of Lethargy, but Cosmo already has the Sleepmore spell, so against bosses, Cosmo can use the Sleepmore spell to try to put them to sleep. And Talon then can use the Sword of Lethargy as an item to just wave that mist around and try to put bosses to sleep. So if we have Talon in a boss fight, we have another person who can cast sleep. Cosmo don't need the Sword of Lethargy anymore because one of the first treasures we're about to get is a new sword for him. We're going to get the Ice Blade, which when used as an item can cast the Blizzard spell, the Snow Blast spell that Bray has. So we'll get that from Talon's old hometown. Remember when in the basement of the shop that he worked at, there were 3 treasure chests behind a jail cell door. Well, let's go grab them. Doesn't matter that Cosmo doesn't have a weapon here because we can use the repel spell, and that'll prevent us from getting into any attacks. Even if we did get into any attacks right now, the enemies are so weak that Ragnar, Christo, and Bray would be able to take care of them. I think Cosmo could even just, you know, use one of his spells, Fireball or something. But just cast the repel, that saves us some time. So, to be efficient in time, too, we're getting these treasures in a certain order. Because we were told, in addition to getting the Zenithian shield from the Queen of Konenber and the final key, we were also given an idea of where we should go next. She said, hey, you should go to this town Roosevelt to the south of us. Something may be going on there. So, Konenber is to the west of the Metal King Island. So if we would have left Konenber and just started going along the coast, the first place you can see that would head to the south is a river, and that river is directly south of the Metal King Island. So we're going to basically warp to all these places, get a bunch of treasure, including some small metals. Then we can warp to Stancia, head over to the Metal King Island to get another Hat of Happiness. Give that to Christo. Christo, Mara, and Nara still need the hats. And then we'll head south to Roosevelt. So speaking of small metals, we get 2 of them inside this jail in Haville. So guys, don't say anything new. In the right dungeon and the left one over here is where we get the small metals in the pots. And the king already has one of our small metals, so we just need 1 more to afford that Hat of Happiness, but we'll get that. So, while we're in this area, we could have went to the House of Prophecy anytime after we got Ragnar to see this scene that's coming up, but We just held on to it because I guess it's not very nice what's going to happen here. So, talk with this lady. The time has come. Now that you, the chosen ones, have converged, you should be able to defeat evil. Your enemy is the resurrecting ruler of evil, whose name is Gasla. And then she like disappears. She like got, I guess, like the evil people like zapped her with an alien ray or something like that. So yeah, we could have kept her alive and not have her get zapped away, but we would have missed that dialogue. So she got to live a little bit longer because we put it off. So we don't want to put off this treasure anymore. So let's walk to Konenber. This is where we got the ship from Tulum. And remember, up here, there was a treasure chest. They were told this door has to remain locked. You may go if you want to, but I'm sure your ship will be sent to the bottom of the sea. Yeah, this flame apparently moves around, so we could have talked with it earlier, but it didn't look like it wanted to move around, so... but doesn't matter, we talk with it now. We get the Sword of Decimation. Cursed item. Whoever equips it, their defense goes down to 0. The only ones who equip it, though, are Ragnar and Cosmo. It's a very powerful sword, but like I said, it reduces your defense down to 0. We're going to keep it around, though, because in addition, well, while it can be, while it reduces the defense of whoever is using it to 0, it can also be used as an item in battle to cast the defense spell, which lowers an enemy's defense. Not to 0, but it can be used multiple times to eventually get it down to 0. So, and here's our last place we want to go to is Branca, where we have these 3 treasure chests. The most important being the small metal. The mystic acorns are nice too. We'll give them to either Nara or Mara, one of the sisters. Yeah, go to Nara. She's not getting a lot of stat gains. Yeah, people wonder if she's bugged or something because she gets really terrible stat gains. I think they don't give her a lot of stat gains because she gets she can get all like the really good equipment. She can get like the best sword in the game, the metal babble sword, which does 2 damage to metal babbles and metal enemies, and it also has a very high attack power. And she can wear all the metal babble gear, the metal battle helmet, metal babble armor, metal babble shield. So like her equipment makes up for her low stats, I guess. I mean that's what they were going for. But a lot of that equipment, you know, you'd have to spend 20 medals, which I'm not going to do with the Metal King, get the Metal Babble Helm. Instead, I'm going to get extra Hats of Happiness and extra Sword of Miracles for Tulum. He'll get the Sword of Miracles, the Happiness. Like I said, one's going to go to Cristo here, and the other 2 will go to the Marinara. The Metal Babble Sword is in a side dungeon that you don't have to visit. And then the Metal Babble Shield costs 5,000 coins at the Endo Coliseum. So yeah, really expensive. So I think it's like 1,500 coins. It's a lot, but yeah, you'd have to really grind to get that. So, but right now we'll just get the Hat of Happiness. What that does is basically every 4 steps you take, it restores 1 magic point. So it's like the Magic Armor in Dragon Quest 1, but for magic points instead of hit points. Magic Armor every 4 steps give you 1 hit point back in Dragon Warrior 1. That does it for MP. While at the Metal King here, we're going to take this travel door. You don't really have to do this, but it kind of gives you an idea of where you can go. Because there's this other travel door. You're like, hey, well, if you're curious, you'll be like, hey, I wonder where this one takes us to. And it'll take us to an island that's in between where the cave of the Pataka root was and Mumbara. So it's just a lone island kind of in the middle of the world map. So if you're taking this, and you see you still have the world map with you, you can drop it off in the vault like how I did. You might see where you're at with this island and be like, hey, I haven't explored this island yet, and you might go here. So, because the game is going to eventually kind of, not necessarily point you to this area, but right now, but it gives you a good idea to kind of go there. But enemies are pretty tough here, but we can still take them. So instead, like I said, we're just gonna go right to to Roosevelt first. So, but there's you could come here, but you'd eventually go through a dungeon, and then you'd end up at this castle of monsters, and it'd basically be like a dead end. Because you need to have, if you're not a monster, the monsters will like kick you out. So we're gonna have to find some way to turn into monsters. So if you play Dragon Quest 3, it kind of reminds you of the Elf Village, where you had to turn into something other than a human to buy stuff at the Elf Village. You had to use the Staff of Transformation to do that. So looks like we're gonna have to find a Staff of Transformation in this game too. So we're gonna learn that you can find that. We'll learn where you find that when we go to Roosevelt. So the game kind of splits a little bit. Speaking of split there, we managed to split that rhino by using the magic of that sword, the Ice Blade sword that Cosmo just got. He cast the increase spell on himself to make his defense high enough that we couldn't hurt him with physical attacks. So that's where a magical item that can cast spells comes in handy. Or we could use the Sword of Decimation there that we picked up, and that would have lowered his defense down a little bit. But just use the Snowblade, the Ice Blade sword to cast that Snowstorm and finish him off that way. So like I said, if you would have left Konenber earlier and just traveled along the north coast, you'd eventually come to the Metal King Island here, and you would have seen that river that goes to the south. That's your clue to where Roosevelt's going to be. And like I said, since we warped to the Metal King Island, we'll just head south and head to Roosevelt this way. You could have ran to Roosevelt a lot earlier in the game, but the enemies around here are really, really tough. But if you were just like doing random exploration, it's to the east of the Great Lighthouse. Hey, there's a cave there. That's going to be a destination. That is actually an optional dungeon where you can get that metal babble sword that I talked about earlier. But yeah, if you just get your boat, as soon as you get your boat, if you head to the east, you'll come across that river by the Great Lighthouse, and that takes you up to Roosevelt here. This is Roosevelt, where we dwarfs live. Wouldn't know what to do here, and like I said, we were walked around and didn't park next to the village like I did. Probably would have gotten into an encounter with the really tough monsters, and they probably would have wiped you out. So, nowhere strong enough now. An elf called Rosie used to live in this village. Her teardrops turned into rubies. Some humans began treating her badly in order to make her cry all the time. It's not very nice. Notice the monsters can actually talk here. Poor Rosa. If Sarah had rescued her, the humans would have devastated her. Remember that monster looked like that in the Haville prison where we got the small medal earlier? He just was like, woom, woom. Well, monsters here can talk. We'll learn why in just a little bit. There's that guy. He runs all the different shops. To the right, if you talk to him over that thing, he gives you that counter. He gives you a weapon shop. South is the armor shop. Left is west is the House of Healing, and north is the item shop. Some time ago, an old man came and opened up a shop. Humans sure know how to run a business. Yeah, that guy's running 3 of them, and a House of Healing, so. I'm not lying. At night, a beautiful girl looks out the window of that tower. This tower will look familiar. It's the one that we saw in our dream in Ismit. I came here searching for an elf who sheds ruby teardrops. Oh, he's one of those bad humans. I'll be rich if I can capture the elf. I'm going to learn a little bit more about that elf. Just a little bit. Let's head into the tower here. Will the ruler of evil destroy us dwarves if he resurrected? I'm worried. This is a place for dwarves and animals. You humans are not welcome. Please leave. Sour made me smarter. I can speak man's language. I have to thank Sour. The secret of evolution is nice. Don't worry, Sour will take care of it. Nay. So Sour is apparently using the secret evolution on animals to make them smarter. Nice guy. Although he's not really all that nice. Sour made this tower. I see he had a secret chamber built inside somewhere. Well, we learned there's a secret passageway in our dream. Remember in the upper right, he uncovered a staircase. So we're going to put that flute of uncovering that we discovered in Santine Castle along with the magma staff. If we come back here at night, which we will. That's where you'll see Rosa speaking out that window, like that kid said. There's an elf that looks out that window. We're just gonna head here during the day here. Doesn't matter, you can come here during the day or night, you get the same dialogue. You also get the same boss fight up here. So yeah, there's a guy who looks like that Samson guy in Chapter 2 that Alina fought. But he's much tougher than Samson. He is the Sorrow Knight. And what makes him tough is he can summon help. And he can use the Sphere of Silence to contain all your caster's spells. So it might be good maybe to, not have a caster like Crystal or Bray in your party. Just have like Talon and Alina, pure physical attackers. That's only though really if you get unlucky and he uses the Sphere of Silence, which he does right here. And it hits every single one of our casters. So, yeah, oh well. So if that happens and you have casters like how I have here, just set your tactics to use no MP. That way your casters won't cast any spells and they'll just be physically attacked. Or they'll use their weapons as an item if it, like Bray can use the Magma Staff to cast the Boom spell. Or if they have like medical herbs or something, they can use them to heal other characters. Crystal will get some healing with that Sword of Miracles. Every damage he does, he gets 1/4 of the hit points back of the damage he does. So, as long as it's not a killing blow there like that one. So, Sorrow Knight is susceptible to sleep. So Ragnar might be able to put it to sleep with hitting with the Sword of Lethargy if we get lucky. As you see so far, we've been kind of unlucky this fight. So Bray's finally using the staff, realizing, hey, I got the staff that casts magic. Why not use it rather than my physical attack? My physical attack is really weak. Bray's the wizard. They're known to be kind of balanced like that. Strong mental, low on bronze. Brain, not brawn. Ragnar putting his brawn to use. Doing some good damage. His Sword of Lethargy, and he also managed to put the thing to sleep a little earlier, so yeah, we finally defeat him, and we get the Sphere of Silence, which the sisters had in their chapter, but I guess they lost it somehow, and Sorrow found it and ended up in the hands of this Sorrow Knight, who he uses to guard this Rosa, who he kind of has a thing for. But, like I said, we'll go talk with her as soon as we get all our levels here. Crystal learned the defeat spell, which is like the beat spell, but it works on a group of enemies. It has a little less accuracy than the beat spell because it hits a group. So it's another one of those instant death spells that people hate Crystal having in boss battles because he'll try to spam them a lot until he learns that, hey, bosses are immune to instant death. So, but it's good for like regular mobs of enemies. So a lot of times, we saw in Dragon Quest 3, a lot of enemies have a lot of hit points. The beat spell is really good at defeating them. So we're not there to hurt Rosa. And so the slime's like, hey, I'll give you some things. The Sad Transformation is in the World Crypt to the southwest of Endor. I think with it you can sneak into the Castle of Monsters. The world's about to be obliterated by monsters. The ruler of the monsters is Sorrow. He renamed himself Necrosorrow and intends to use a secret evolution to become more formidable. Please, stop Sorrow. No, Necrosorrow. I don't want him to continue on this evil path. Even if it means ending his life, sob. And we get some teardrops because she cried, and they turn to rubies, but they crumble right away. So all the people who are mean to her to get rubies, it doesn't work out in the end because they just crumble. So can't get rich making her cry. So, all of it is for naught. Actually, it's caused a lot of trouble because it caused sorrow seeing the abuse that Rosa was suffering from evil humans who just wanted, to be greedy and hurt her for her tears. Caused Necrosorrow to kind of snap and cause his crusade against humanity. So, it's all because of greed that all this bad stuff is happening. So, that slime mentioned the Staff of Transformation, and it's to the south of Endor, so we'll be going to pick that up in a little bit. And he also mentioned the Castle of Monsters. That is on that island that we visited earlier through the travel door. So we could go there, get that as a set point, and then find out, hey, you can't do anything there, and then go get the staff of transformation. But we'll get the staff first, and then we'll go there so we don't have to do any backtracking. But we're not going to do that right away. We're going to head to that cave that we passed on the way here, and go look for the treasure in there. Take care, have a good one, see you next episode. Bye.